Manster, people throw things out that are not true. You could be, and you know what's crazy? You guys are trying to shop at the elite store, and you're not at the elite store. And you think you have an elite product. You don't. Your team's elite. He ain't. And I'm trying to tell you, quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo, you pray you get guys like that. Welcome aboard the National Football Show with your boy Big Sills. Hope all are having themselves a great day. As we get ourselves ready here, and we're getting ourselves ready for training camp, we appreciate everybody that comes aboard Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 Eastern Time. Now, let's do this, baby. Okay? I'm so sorry that I upset people yesterday with the reporting of the news of Jalen Hurts getting his $40 million contract by some dude over at WIP. Now, on my Twitter page, people are like, Sileo thinks Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Jalen Hurts? Guys, he is. I get what Seth Joyner even said. He's a turnover machine. Well, that turnover machine went into Dallas and in Green Bay last year and won ball games. And unfortunately, the one-loss record is given to the quarterbacks today. We all know it's not a single thing that you give quarterbacks, but the media today equates quarterbacks with winning. They say Tom Brady's won 7 Super Bowls. They don't say Tom Brady was on 7 teams that won Super Bowls. It applies to him. It applies to Garoppolo. It applies to Jalen Hurts. So when people talk like that, that's the distinction of today. Hell, coaches' coaching records are also part of who they are and how we talk about them and how we gauge who they are in the history of the league. It's without a doubt part of the narrative today when we talk about coaches and quarterbacks. Coaches and quarterbacks are gauged by the records that they have when they're on those respected teams. And by the way, I did look it up. Do you know that Kyle Shanahan, without Garoppolo as a starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, is 8-27? I don't know about you, but if you put the record with Garoppolo under center, Jimmy Garoppolo, it's 38-16. I don't know what to say, but those are the facts. You can talk about Garoppolo's numbers all you want, but the bottom line is Jimmy Garoppolo wins ball games wherever he's been. You may think he's not the best quarterback in the league. Well, what does that say about your guy? And I just don't mean Jalen. I mean anybody in the NFL that struggles at the quarterback position. What's that say about your guy? You know, you keep saying, well, he's the. You guys are praying he's going to be that. Jalen Hurts is nowhere accomplished in the landscape of quarterbacking today. Dude, you got to win significant games and you got to beat a team with a winning record. You've got to. Okay? You've got to beat teams with winning records. Plain and simple. You can't have empty calorie stats. And we've got questions. By the way, I've got about, let me see here. Oh, by the way, lists are here, baby. Lists are here. Hey, Merrill Reese, hour number 3, 5:30. 1, 2, 3. I got 4 questions that I'm going to ask you guys about your Eagles as they get ready for the July 26th training camp. Dude, don't ever in your mind think that Hurts is a better quarterback on June 29th, 2022 than Jimmy Garoppolo. It's factually not true. Even the eyeball test isn't true. It's not true. You can pray and hope. It's like praying and hoping for the lottery tickets or the Powerball numbers. It's not true. What I say is, and by the way, I saw a guy on my Twitter page at Dan Sileo's show say, one day Sileo's here with Hurts, one day Sileo's there with Hurts. That's because that's his erratic play. When you have conversations on people, and it's like Kyrie Irving. One day you talk about Kyrie Irving when he puts up a 50 spot on somebody, and you say this, that guy is the most talented guy that we've seen at the pure point guard position in a long time when it comes to pure scores. That guy can handle the basketball, and he's great. Then the next day you turn around and you go, that guy's a Fruit Loop. That's who Kyrie Irving is. That's how I talk about people. Very seldom do you get a guy like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning where you can go like this. There's nothing that changes in their behavior or their play, and they're steady. How many athletes are steady like that professionally? How many athletes do we cover every single day that are steady like that? They're not, because being a champion and being spectacular and being the GOAT is hard to come by. And when you got a quarterback like Hurts who's up and down, that's the evaluation. He's like a seesaw. He's a seesaw. The one thing you say about Garoppolo, you look past the numbers. Oh, I see. Wait a minute. With some guys, you look at the numbers. With other guys, you look at the numbers and you gauge them by the numbers, but not the wins. Hey, you can keep the numbers, dude. I'll take the one-loss column any day. It bugs me when I hear people throwing idiotic comments out. Garoppolo's a turnover machine? Well, how's that responded into 5-2 in the postseason? And the 49ers suck when he's not on the field. They suck. When he's not playing, they're not competitive. He's 5-2. He beat Rodgers at home last year in a torrential hailstorm at Lambeau. Where are you coming with these non-facts? Well, he'll throw interceptions. I never said he was elite. I said he's really good. That guy wins ball games, man. I thought that's what this conversation was about. Was about winning ball games. I don't give a shit about anything except for winning games. Marina goes, 49ers will be 8-9 with Lance. Is Hurts better than Lance? I don't know. One play Lance? That says you know you have a franchise quarterback when you look in the stands and it's filled with people wearing the QB's jersey. Sills is fired up because people throw things out that are not true. You could be, and you know what's crazy? You guys are trying to shop at the elite store, and you're not at the elite store. And you think you have an elite product. You don't. Your team's elite. He ain't. And I'm trying to tell you, quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo, you pray you get guys like that. Finding players like Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert and players like that, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, they don't come around that often. Look at the Dolphins. They've been searching for a quarterback since Marino. Hell, the Denver Broncos can't draft a quarterback to save their life. I mean, your quarterback is lower tier as of June 29th. That's a harsh reality for a lot of people to take. It's a harsh reality. Okay? So when people go, I love the fact because JAKIB posted something on my Twitter page. Garoppolo, or Hurts. I don't know what the debate is. Now, does Garoppolo have an issue on being injured? Absolutely. That's why they trade all those picks to get Lance. Trade Lance in the building. Absolutely. Manster goes, let's get Jimmy now. You ain't getting Jimmy now. That franchise ain't paying $27 million. Do you know how much money you're paying this year for Jalen Hurts? $1.1 million. I got a quarterback at Miami that makes twice that. And I mean the University of Miami. Bryce Young makes $4 million. He makes 3 times the money that Jalen makes. You got a dime store quarterback. And it's a good thing. Because now you can build the rest of your team. He's functional and good enough to win. Kirk and Jimmy ain't elite. Damn right they're not. What's your boy? If they're not elite, who is he? Dude, you got to beat somebody that matters. You got to beat a winning team eventually. I sure hope that happens this year. Christopher says Jimmy's a little above average. He's been on some good teams. That's not the case, Christopher. Again, that's fake news. Because when Garoppolo's not the starter, they're 7-28 with Kyle Shanahan as the head coach of the Niners. Again, not getting it factually correct. Okay? Okay. You can have Hurts, not me. I want a quarterback that could throw the ball. I want to be in today's NFL. The Eagles have not taken advantage of today's NFL rules. And if you look at the history of your team, you've never had a 100-catch wide receiver, and you've had one 4,000-yard passing quarterback in your history. You run the ball. That's what you do. Nothing wrong with that. It's been very successful. Stick to your identity. But you're trying to change your identity this year. You're trying to jam a square peg in a round hole. Sorry. You need to have a throwing quarterback to do this. Everybody knows this. And again, the only reason I'm starting out like that is because everyone on my Twitter page is going like this. Where did you get this guy from? What's this guy saying? Where the hell's he get? All I'm doing is reading one loss column. That's all I'm doing. Hurts beating teams with winning records, one less than you could talk about, Bucko. What's that mean? Who's he beating with a winning record? Okay? Who? Last year, they were spanked by teams with winning records. Spanked. Give Jalen a chance. Again, you're talking about Josh Allen. Josh Allen's a passer. Your boy's not. This year, okay. Again, fantasy shit until we see it. Okay, you're right. Can't debate it because it hasn't happened in his career yet. But all those other guys beat winning teams in their young part of their careers. Guy like Burrow, who people thought was a system quarterback at LSU with all that talent. Remember what they were saying? He was just a system guy at LSU. Well, he took that system to Cincinnati, Ohio. The Bengals. The Bengals transformed them. Prior to Josh Allen showing up in Buffalo, they hadn't done shit for a decade and a half. Facts. In Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, they hadn't won a Super Bowl in 50 years in Kansas City. 50 years. When those guys show up in the building and you go like this, yeah, I don't need 70 games or 35 games to figure out whether or not a woman is a good-looking woman or not. You look at her right away and go, hey, oh my God, man. Okay, Halle Berry, She's a great looking woman. Sierra, I don't need 70 looks ago. Yeah, get back to me tomorrow. Okay? Stating the obvious. That's right. I am stating the obvious. Garoppolo's 5-2 in the postseason. Has been to a Super Bowl. And people are like, well, Hurts is better. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind when you say that. He hasn't proven that. Again, that's theory. That's theory. Oh, you know what you have also? And you also have those toolboxes that say, if you like Jimmy Garoppolo, you're a racist because you're rooting against Jalen. No. No. Race has nothing to do with winning. That's for people that talk new shit. Has nothing to do with it. Winning and losing has no racial issues to it. That's made up in your minds. It's going to be bad year for the Eagles. Okay, I don't know what that means, man. You got to write in English. Hurts will be the best quarterback in the USFL. Dude, that's not what I'm saying about the kid. I'm saying he's good enough to win. Okay? I'm saying that he's good enough to win. Now, when he does this year, you'll be King brings this point up. Xander, put that up. King Dread. Now, when he does this year, you'll be on his side, just like all you idiot analysts. King, why? I'm gonna tell you like I tell everyone else. What would make you think it would be in my best interest to root against Jalen Hurts to have failure this year for my show? Let me think selfishly here. Why in a million years would I root against the kid? What in your mind makes you say that that's good for my show? See, I told you so. I don't like that kind of radio or broadcasting. See, I told you so. Because usually when I say that, that means somebody failed. And if he fails, the team fails. I'm not rooting for the team to fail. Okay? Steven goes, because you want Tyler. That's okay. Tyler's going to the Giants. I already set it up. You guys don't want him because you got your $40 million boy. He's calling you a fair-weathered fan? Bro, once again, how can you sit here and give a proper analysis on somebody when 1 week they suck out loud, the next week they do decent, then the following week they do well? Everything like this. So are you supposed to be up here and be a cheerleader like you want and say he'll get there? Or do you do what I do? I look at what's happening today factually. I'm not a mind reader. I don't have a genie bottle. I don't forecast what I think that I talk about right now. Because that's the only thing you can be judged by. Wishful thinking are for losers. People on my Twitter were all wishful thinking. I mean, honestly, best quarterback to come out of Alabama? You know, Namath had a losing record as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Threw more interceptions and touchdowns, too. So, whatever that means. No, you're looking in the past. Because the past is who he is. Okay? You're wishful thinking. Right now, today, there are no quarterbacks in college better than Jalen. Really. I guarantee you, those kids that'll be drafted, Jalen's not a quarterback. He's a running quarterback thing. He's not a proficient passer. Those are facts. Okay? All right, let me get into some questions here. I wanted to address some of the things that people were saying on my Twitter page. That's all I'm doing. I didn't really even mean to start the show out like that. But when people were asking me questions like that, to me, once again, I've got to give you the facts. And you know what's crazy? You can't dispute them. Today, on June 29th, you can't dispute anything I've said. You may think in your heart and all the rose-petaled love that you want to throw your boy, end of the day, he's not as accomplished as Garoppolo, and he'll have a couple of years to get to that status where you'll be that. You know, he's got the second highest win percentage with 50 games or more played than any quarterback in NFL history. And what are you telling me again? Asinine. Asinine. And people go, wait a minute here. The one-loss record's not a quarterback stat. Really? The media today doesn't take one-loss record, and Tom Brady gets all the love for winning 7 Super Bowls. But other quarterbacks don't get that. Okay. Have fun in the speculation, really. Good luck to you guys. You dispute the things you say. Can't wait for Hurts to take it to the next level. Not hoping. Yes, it is hoping. Because he's not at that level yet. He's not a passing quarter. He's not an NFL. How about this? Watch this. If Jalen Hurts lost his ability to scramble, would he be an NFL quarterback? I'll wait. If he lost his ability to scramble, would Jalen Hurts be an NFL quarterback? Yes or no? And I'm not looking for an analysis. It's just a yes-no answer. If you took his scrambling ability away, if you took Joe Burrow's scrambling ability away, would Joe Burrow be a starting quarterback in the NFL? Yeah. If you took Josh Allen's scrambling ability and he runs away, would he? Yes. Patrick Mahomes? Yes. Aaron Rodgers? Yes. Tom Brady? Yes. Russell Wilson? Yes. That's all you need to know. If a part of a guy's game goes down and it ruins him, push. Okay. Right. He'd be with what? Dude, that guy'd be lucky to be in the USFL. Kenneth, 38-16, baby. 38-16. You're speculating? So are you. So are you. All right, let me get to my questions. Guys, turn this thing into a bitchin' match already with me here. And it's not. But when people are throwing that shit at me on Twitter, hey, even Seth got in it. And I was like this, and I love Seth, and you know I do, and I value his opinion more than anybody's opinion. But I disagree with him. I don't think that guy is near as accomplished as that dude. And I do think the quarterback record has a lot to do with the starting quarterbacks because everyone else in this league's history gets gauged on that. If you Google it, they'll even have the one-loss record of every quarterback that's ever played in the game. That also applies to Garoppolo. You just can't handpick that. If that was the case, Carson Wentz would still be the quarterback in Indy. But because he shit the bed against the Jaguars and the Raiders at the end of the year, was it because of the season Carson Wentz had? Think of this for a second. You think Carson Wentz got fired because of the year he had last year? Or because of the last 2 games he lost? Ask yourself that. Guy threw for 27 touchdowns and 7 picks and almost 3,700 yards, 94 quarterback rating. It wasn't the season he had. It was those last 2 games he lost. Those last 2 games cost him his time in Indianapolis. Wasn't the year he had. Shit, he beat a handful of teams that had winning records, including the 49ers and the Bills. Hurts hasn't been accomplished yet because he hasn't played as many seasons as Jimmy G. Well, yeah. Well, Joe Burrow's played a year and a half. Okay? Xander's like, you think Hurts will ever put up numbers like Garoppolo's numbers? 38 and 16? You think he's going to put numbers like that up? I can't wait. By the way, let me get to my questions. Okay? Guys, please hit the like button. With terrible coaching? Like who? Nick Saban? Steve Sarkisian? Lincoln Riley? Josh Allen had shitty coaching in college. Wyoming, the coach doesn't even have a winning record. Wise guy, thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Because we just speak the facts and people have a hard time digesting it. They have a hard time digesting it. By the way, man, it's all good. But when you get people going on Twitter and making false accusations about a guy versus another guy, and we have those conversations, I'm going to defend my takes. Here, let's ask some of these questions as we get ready for July 26th training camp. I've got 4 questions for you. Let's go down the 4 questions here. By the way, again, Merrill Reese, hour 3 at 5:30 Eastern time. My first question as we get ready for the July training camp. Will the Eagles have 2,000-yard receivers? Will they have 2,000-yard receivers? Xander goes, let's start with 1, please. Let's start with 1. Well, wait a minute. To Xander's point, well, shit, what the hell did you draft a guy in the first round and give another guy $100 million for then? So one guy suffers because of the other? Who's going to suffer, the $100 million man or your first-round draft choice who won the Heisman? I see 1. Hell yeah. Yes. No. Yes. You see 2,000-yard wide receivers on this team. Eastside Monster says there's going to be 2,000-yard wideouts on this team. I think you're lucky to get 1. When's the last time the Philadelphia Eagles had a 1,000-yard receiver? Can someone tell me? Was it Macklin in 17? I think that's what we talked about a couple months ago. Was it Macklin? 6 years ago. Yes. Ertz is not a wide receiver. Ertz is not a wide receiver, dude. Will the Eagles have 2,000-yard wide receivers? Sometimes people just can't listen. Macklin, 14. Oh, so it's a little longer. I don't think you believe Hurts is a starting NFL quarterback, Dan. No, I think he's good enough. I think he's good enough. to win. I do. I don't think he's elite at all, and I don't think he'll ever be elite. Okay, so one wide receiver. One wide receiver. Some of you think there'll be two. So in the last 1,000-yard receiver you had was 2014. Okay. This is it's almost too easy. I don't mean to laugh out loud like that. Sills is in a bad mood. Don't let Twitter do it. I'm not in a bad mood, Chris. Actually, it fires me up to have a great debate with you guys. Okay? Hey, Fort, you think there's 2,000-yard receivers on this team this year? Now watch, you in a few minutes. Hurts should not be a starter. I've never said that. I've never said I would never change him out for just some dude. Absolutely not. And by the way, I'm talking about 2,000-yard wide receivers. Not upset at all. You are upset. You're under some impression I'm upset. I'm fired up. Kyle, go stop yelling. I'm Italian, Kyle. Burrow was nice all year. The master debater. That's funny. What do you mean by elite? Okay, here, I'll simplify it for you, Sam. Here's elite. That if my team is down by 25 points, I can win by throwing myself out of trouble. That's elite. Eagles get down 10, they have no comeback capabilities at all. AJ, 1,000. Smitty, 1,200. Quez, 800. Even Pascal gets 800. Damn! Okay. Listen, I'm going to go like this. I think you have one. Xander, you think they get one? I think they get one. I think the rest of the guys have nice seasons. Okay? I think they get one. Xander's right. By the way, if nobody gets 1,000 yards, Nick Sirianni would be fired. I would fire Nick Sirianni. If Nick Sirianni doesn't have at least one wide receiver with 1,200 yards, he should be fired. You can't make an investment of $100 million and then turn around, draft a guy in first round, and go like this. Shit, what the hell, 800, 900 yards, that's good enough. That's why they set up the new offensive coordinator to be the fall guy if he falls apart. So they don't have to fire Sirianni because how he loves his boy. Hey, Manchester, I know, right? Holy cow, man. These guys are really – got 3 more questions. We're gonna do that after the timeout here. Hey, don't forget my friends at Morgan & Morgan where the fee is free. If you're hurt or injured on the job, finding that attorney is one of the most important things that you could possibly do for your family. Compensation and fair compensation for your family is what Morgan & Morgan is all about. That's why when you hear for the people, you will understand immediately. Once you talk to Morgan & Morgan, this is not a slogan. This is who they are with over 800 attorneys strong across the country and offices in Philly, New York, and in Florida and across the country. Morgan & Morgan is there to do battle for you. Call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation is free. 800-512-1600. Open 24/7, 7 days a week. And do me a favor. When you call them, tell them Dan Sileo sent you.
When choosing a lawyer for your injury case, you may ask, does the size of the law firm matter? Well, of course it does. The insurance company, they're huge with unlimited resources. And whether your case is big or small, they're built to bully you out of the money you're owed. But here's the good news. We're big too, the biggest actually. And we're built to fight to make them pay for all that was taken from you. Size is our strength. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.